In this video, we're going to be going over the 7 top cryptocurrencies that are available on Coinbase that I think have potential to double, triple, or 10x during this current bull run that we're in. Now, the way this video is going to work, we're going to go over 6 that are currently on Coinbase, and then I'm going to give you one that I think personally is going to end up on Coinbase within the next 6 months. And if you've paid any attention at all to what happens when a coin first gets added to Coinbase, we'll usually see the price almost double within just a few days. So I think this coin that I'm going to mention very last has a ton of potential to be on Coinbase. They've already been looking at it for a while. There's a lot of signs that point to this coin coming out. So stay till the end, you'll get the ones currently on Coinbase, and then at the very end, we'll go over the one that I really think is gonna end up on there. Now first, let me add one disclaimer. Because Coinbase is Coinbase, the coins that are on there have been around for a while, and the 100x coins and the 500x coins typically aren't what you're gonna end up buying on Coinbase. I have other video tutorials where I show you how to buy those on sites like MetaMask and stuff like that, where you get in right at the ground floor. But that is a lot more complicated. So the entire point of this video is for us to be able to get really good opportunities still on Coinbase that offer better gains than the standard Bitcoin or the standard Ethereum, but still are very easy for people that are new to crypto to purchase. The first coin that we're going to talk about is Avalanche, which trades with the sign AVAX, AVAX. Now, the reason that I love Avalanche so much is it's one of the Ethereum competitors, of which there are quite a few coming out, but it's one that has a lot of traction right now. You can see right here, it's been very steady for 3 months, even a year now, a very steady uptrend, and it just hit almost $110 today, despite Bitcoin being down almost 5% and some of the other altcoins being down up to 20%. So it's an Ethereum competitor that is much faster, it's much cheaper to use, and what really matters is it's starting to build out an ecosystem, right? So there are some cryptos that'll blow up, they'll make money over a period of 6 months or even a year, but in the end, unless they get an ecosystem of users and people using their blockchains and things like that, you'll see them kind of fizzle away. Avalanche actually just announced a partnership with Deloitte, a huge company in the US, and they're announcing partnerships almost every day now. There's a lot of stuff happening on the Avalanche chain, and it's kind of following, if you look at the Ethereum chart from years and years ago, maybe back in 2017, Avalanche is following that very similarly. And I think that means that there's a very similar adoption happening to Avalanche to what we saw on Ethereum 4 years ago. And I expect it to continue to grow to be a top 5 coin over the next 5-10 years. The next coin that I really love, and it's in a category that I love and I think you should seriously look at, is the Engine coin, which trades by ENJ. Now you can see the chart right here. It's been doing fairly well in what's kind of a half bear market right now, as well as Bitcoin and Ethereum have struggled. You can see it's come very close to hitting all-time highs. And what this is all the NFT hype, right? All the gaming hype going on right now. This is kind of a mix between the two. We've got all these games that people are out there trying to play, and there's all these NFTs that we can buy in the games, right? You can buy all kinds of little things inside of games now. And Engine kind of creates this marketplace and facilitates the ability to buy NFTs inside of games. You can even move them between games using the Engine coin. You can sell them between games, move them around, and it really creates this awesome NFT ecosystem that will hopefully blanket a lot of games in the future that run on crypto. A lot of these like play to earn games and stuff like that, you'll see them building on the Engine platform. So imagine all these different games and all these different metaverses, and there's different things you can buy in them, right? Well, Engine kind of consolidates that and allows you to buy and move between all these different metaverses and games, and they're kind of the leader in it right now. They've done very well so far, and they've got a lot of real world use case happening in an industry that crypto is clearly going to rule within the next few years. And number 3 is another one that I really am a fan of, and I've been a fan of this. I've owned it for almost a year and a half now from when I first heard about it. It's the Basic Attention Token, also known as the BAT token. And what the BAT token is it's actually paired up with the Brave browser. And so if you're familiar with the Brave browser, it's a much more privacy-focused browser than the Google Chrome browser. But what the Basic Attention Token does, and it's so cool, is it allows you to get paid for your data instead of, say, Google, right? So Google's out there, they give you all these free services, and in return they take all your data, every bit they can, and they sell it to make money. And what the Basic Attention Token does with the Brave browser is instead you can get paid in this BAT token for using this browser and for offering your data up, or you can say you don't want your data to be offered up as well. It's also got all kinds of cool partnerships. Mr. Beast is using it with YouTube. You can use the BAT token to tip people on YouTube, and just kind of like a cool all-around idea. And I think it will grow huge as privacy concerns continue to grow with people. So BAT is one of those that has real-world use cases, and there's already hundreds of thousands of people using the Brave browser, and it's growing. And I think we'll just continue to see that grow with time. All right, number 4 is one of my favorite stories in crypto right now, and I think it's kind of just poised to explode. It's the coin Jasmy. And I heard about this just in a Facebook group. I was scouring the Facebook group and a lot of people kept talking about it. And it's this coin that came out a couple years ago, actually, in Japan. And the coin launched, and then there were issues with the government. So Japanese government is not a fan of crypto. And so we saw this Jasmy token, because of issues with regulation and things like that, and not getting approved to actually run in Japan. It was at $4 here. Okay, you can see it peaked at $4 right there. And then after all that happened, it tanked, and you can see all the way down to about a penny, where it held for a while. And then very, very recently, it actually became the first approved token, if I understand it correctly, or one of the first few tokens that are approved to run in Japan. So I love that. You can see the potential right here, and you can see it's just starting to rebuild steam again after that happened. The other thing is that the founders, the current people running this project, are huge names, not just in the crypto industry, but in the world. So let's glance at this team real quick. You can see right here, just the first 3 names already make you think there's a lot of potential here, okay? We've got I honestly can't pronounce their names, so I'm not even going to try, but was the former president and COO of Sony Corp. And then obviously like a lot of other things, but that's the big one. You can see right here, we've got another former CEO of Sony, operating officer of Sony Marketing, another former president of Sony Corporation. Okay, so big names in Japan, and these are the guys behind this project. And to see a project that was at one point, up at $4, go down because of issues they couldn't control. And then, with that team, I think there's just a ton of potential to hold this for a year or two and see it really blow up. This is one of those in my portfolio that I think has 10, 20, 30x possibilities on Coinbase. Some of these other ones are more like double, triple, quadruple. This one could really explode if things work out. Now, the next one to me is kind of like a perfect storm. When like the charts also start to match the news and everything kind of like piles up, and suddenly you just see this huge liftoff. Polkadot is number 5, and I think that's the situation that we have with Polkadot. I'm so excited for it. A huge portion of my portfolio is in it right now. But if you look at the chart right here, okay, so Polkadot has this clear, just great support right here at about the $39 to $40 mark. And you can see it just tapped that very, very recently with highs up as high as 55. So it's great on the charts, but also Polkadot just released a bunch of updates that came out. And I'm not gonna pretend like I fully understand this particular blockchain, but think of it as like a blockchain for helping developers and stuff build blockchains. So I'm not a developer, that's why I don't fully understand it. But it's an Ethereum competitor, and it's one that, from what I understand, gives a lot more liberty to developers. It makes things a lot easier for these developers that are trying to build on these blockchains. And so they just launched some major updates. Those went well. And if you go look at kind of the social sentiment, I can hop on YouTube here and just show you a lot of big name influencers are talking about Polkadot as something that's just right on the verge of exploding as all this new stuff starts to happen. And the last one before we go on to our surprise, hopefully on Coinbase coin here, is called Polygon. You may have heard of Polygon or Matic. Now, it's not really an Ethereum competitor or killer. What it does is, if you're familiar with the Ethereum blockchain, it's nuts right now, and to send Ethereum or execute any kind of trade on Ethereum, you can see right here, costs anywhere from $150 to sometimes $300. I've seen it go as high as $1,000 just to make a transaction on the Ethereum network. And the Ethereum network is the second biggest network out there. So that's problematic. And so Matic has come in and they've built what's called a layer 2 blockchain solution, where they're built upon Ethereum, the biggest network out there right now for smart contracts, and they're actually making it so you can still execute these contracts on Ethereum, but for significantly cheaper and significantly faster. And one of the things I'm loving about them right now is we're seeing a lot of growth in Polygon wallets, meaning a lot of people are moving to Polygon and adding Polygon right now. And typically that growth starts, and then we see the price explode as people start buying and holding this coin. And just as I'm out there looking and joining all these new projects, a lot of these new projects are jumping on the Polygon network, and that's where they're launching, which tells me as these projects launch on the Polygon network, then we'll see a bunch of users migrate over to the Polygon network as well. So you kind of just got to follow the signals there and see the journey of what people do, right? We have the projects launch first, then all these people shift over that want to get involved in those projects. All right, let's do a little drum roll here on the screen here, because now it's kind of my most exciting coin that I think has the most potential here. to end up on Coinbase and really explode. And it already has been exploding. But it's a coin called Helium, okay, or HNT. You can see right here, Helium's doing great today. It's a down market today. Bitcoin's struggling, Ethereum's struggling, everyone's struggling. Helium not struggling. You can see over the period of about 3 months, Helium has, tripled? Okay, so it's done very, very well. They've announced many partnerships with large companies in the US, both in and outside of crypto. But what Helium is they're aiming to create a network across the entire US, or the entire world in the end, really, that offers kind of small bandwidth internet. And so you can see right here, all these people buy these Helium miners, and I got one over there, and I got one at my parents' house actually, and they create this network you can see right here, and it's almost like low broadband Verizon or low broadband Comcast, right? People can use, people and cars and anything that needs a small bit of internet connection can connect to these as they're moving around and get access to data and information. And you get paid as the miner. So I love it on the mining side and I love it on the coin side because of the real world use cases and the fact that they're just exploding. You can see here all these miners. So here's where I live right here in this giant bubble of green right there. And there are so many miners. Each of those is a miner. So that they're creating this just killer awesome network, and they're so far behind the miner orders because so many people are getting involved in this project. It's a really cool project. It's got a ton of real world use cases. It's got a ton of partnerships in the US, and I think there is a huge, massive chance that Coinbase grabs this coin here in the next 6 months. Now, currently this coin is available on a lot of exchanges, but not on Coinbase. So you can see right here, it's available on Binance, Binance US if you're in the US, and a couple other big ones. But you can see you can buy it on Binance US right now if you're in the USA. It's not super complicated, and we'll still see that huge spike if it gets added to Coinbase because Coinbase has so many users that will get in if they have the opportunity. So again, guys, we don't do a lot of flash in our videos. We try to teach crypto straightforward and just show you what's going on in the crypto world without all the hype. And I hope I haven't hyped up any of these coins, but I think these are all really good projects with a lot of potential. Go ahead and subscribe if you're looking for what I'm putting out, and thanks so much for watching.